Longmire saw its last season on November 17, 2017, giving us 5 wonderful years. The show, which tells the tale of the titular Walt Longmire, played by Australian actor Robert Taylor, as he patrols the town of Longmire while he deals with the death of his wife. He's joined by many characters like his daughter Katie, female deputy Vic, and many more. Today we're going to be ranking the best and worst. Spoilers ahead. Number 1, Ruby. Ruby, played by Luana Stevens, was ranked the best character in the show on a Reddit post that a fan had made asking what fans thought was the series' most underrated characters. One user went as far as to credit her with being the matron of the department. They also praised her ability to put Walt in his place. Fans also very much enjoyed her feistiness and how she can be protective of Walt. Many fans loved Ruby's post. It notes almost as much as they loved the character herself. Fans showed her for the dispatch and manager at the sheriff's office on Facebook when a dedicated fan posted an episode of their podcast untitled The Longmire Posse Podcast that Ruby actress Luann Stevens actually appeared on. The post was flooded with a large amount of commentators talking about what they loved most about Ruby. The post got 70 comments and 25 shares. Large majority of those comments were followed by the hashtag #LongLiveLongmire. Although the character is loved and respected by many fans, she's technically counted as a recurring character as opposed to a series regular, which goes to show how amazing she is on the show to be loved by that many and not even be upgraded to season regular. Number 2, Travis. The second most voted for character on the show was childhood friend of Branch, Travis, who was played by Derek Phillips. Despite the fact that he was a goofball who had his fair share of mistakes, he was always a faithful companion to Branch. He had a gigantic, caring heart, and the show was starting to get his life back on the right track. Fans also pointed out the fact that Travis was always supportive of Vic, going as far as being fully ready to settle down for Vic and her baby when she got pregnant. Fans felt that and wished the writers would have done more with Travis, thinking that having him hired as a deputy trainee would have been an excellent choice for him. To watch him evolve even more, getting a job, settling down, and being there for Vic and her baby. Fans also widely discussed their disliking towards Travis's mother, who was toxic towards the fan favorite character. It was interesting to see Travis go from when we first saw him, where he was being kicked out of his trailer, and to where we last saw him, ready to be there for Vic and the baby and making an attempt to get things back together. Number 3, the Ferg. Archie Ferguson, known to many simply as the Ferg, was the deputy sheriff on Longmire. He's played by Adam Bartley, and to fans is another underappreciated member of the Longmire Police Department. A fan on Reddit stated that he believed Ferg ran the department, saying that while Walt, Vic, and Branch ran around dealing with personal drama, Ferg was there doing evidence collection in the computer work, but was still left out of everything, and was even ridiculed every now and then. Fans also said that they think if the show had continued and lost Walt, that the Ferg would be the best option for his replacement. Fans also appreciated that the Ferg was the only one in the department who wasn't constantly going through some type of personal drama. He was the only one on the show who was just a police officer. As fans commented on Ferg for sheriff under the original post, another fan commented saying maybe Ferg wasn't the best choice for sheriff after he made an attempt to get Meg's ex-boyfriend arrested for a bank robbery he didn't commit. Another fan pointed out that Walt also did some things that a sheriff should not do, things like threatening Ed Gorski and going after Jacob Nighthorse. Number 4, Walt. Walt Longmire, who's played by Robert Taylor, is the sheriff and main character of the series. The response people give to Walt is very polarized. Some like Walt and think he's a good sheriff and a good addition to the show, while others don't care too much for him. A Redditor posted a post titled, "Am I the only one who hates Walt?" in which he voiced his hatred for the character and listed reasons why. The main reason being his hatred for Jacob Nighthorse, and the other being his, as they put it, "I'm so honorable and I have to keep my word, high horse." Their problem with it being how often he does things that aren't honorable. Fans of the show came to the defense of the titular character, admitting that he does grow to irritate some fans, but that he's still not the worst character. Many did have to admit that the obsession he had with Jacob Nighthorse got on the nerves of many of the show's fans. Some also speculated that Walt is purposely like that in the show to keep viewers debating if Walt is actually right or not about his crazy hunch on Nighthorse. Number 5, Katie. Katie Longmire, played by Cassidy Freeman, is the daughter of Walt Longmire. Throughout the series, Katie was in an off-and-on relationship with Branch. Fans have felt some disliking towards the character. Many have agreed that she was the least intelligent character out of all of them on the show, besides Travis. Fans pointed out that while Katie was painted as the smartest and most capable character, she's also more gullible and impulsive out of them. She also, according to fans, has a ridiculous look on her face anytime she gets called out for her obvious mistakes. A lawyer left a comment on Reddit proving from the professionals how dumb she could really be. He pointed out how stupid it was to take on a murder case before she had any actual experience in criminal law. He even went far enough as to say that he thinks she should have been disbarred. He also criticized how she treated the firm that hired her so rudely. They called her out for doing so, saying that it was very unprofessional. Many people voiced their anger when the ending of the show suggested there was a possibility that Katie became the sheriff. Number 6, Branch. Branch Connolly, played by Bailey Chase, is the childhood friend of the beloved Travis. While Travis was liked by many of the fans on the show, Branch is one of the least liked characters on the show. When a Redditor asked why Branch was treated so poorly, many fans commented with many reasons why. One fan thought it was because his father was a local bad man, much like his uncle. It's also due to the fact that he's a very arrogant character. There was also the dating of the daughter's boss and then not telling them about it, also which some fans didn't think was fair to count as a reason for why, but some did count it, was that he ran against Walt for the role of the sheriff. There's also the fact that he ran a dirty campaign trying to use the fact that Walt was drunk on a crime scene against him. He's also not a good cop. He went out to arrest Viho without even having evidence or checking in with his superiors. The main reason people don't like him is because he just comes off as cocky and arrogant. He was the smug, popular kid in high school, and it shows. Number 7, Vic. The character that people seem to have the most dismay with is the character of Vic, played by Katie Sackhoff. Full name Victoria Moretti. Vic is the deputy sheriff of the Longmire Police Department. There was a post made by a user asking if they were the only ones annoyed by Vic. The answer by many members of the community was a whopping no. The original post was simply asking if anybody else was annoyed by the facial expressions and stances of Vic. Other members of the community responded saying they were also annoyed by her expressions and stances, along with everything else about her. A lot of fans said that the character is horrible in the show. They didn't like how she treated other characters on the show. They also disliked the fact that she sometimes talks in a southern accent and sometimes doesn't, even though she is originally from Philadelphia. There are many things that fans did not like about Vic. This is apparent by the amount of people who disliked her ending up with Walt in the show. All these things and more come together to make Vic the most disliked character of all the characters in Longmire. Longmire was on television for 7 seasons, which is more than enough time to get acquainted with the characters. With every show, there are characters that people love and there are characters that people hate. Longmire is no exception. While some of the characters were written to be lovable and some to be hated, there are just some characters who fans really did or didn't like. Who's your favorite character? Who's your least favorite character?